explanation of the incident this week to reporters. So take a listen.
A lot of people seen it as me, like, being a hothead on the sideline, being a diva, you could say, but it wasn't nothing like that. It was just I'm fired up and just trying to give the guys energy, you know? So, because as you seen, like, think about it. Like, I just wish people, I mean, everybody would just think about it. If I would have really pushed my coach, everybody would have been holding me back. So it was just like one of those fired up pushing, we laughing, we giggling. You know, we just enjoying, you know, each other, you know? So that's all it was.
Okay. All right. Well, Shannon, are you buying his explanation?
I guess I'm about to take him at his word, Skip. Look, there's a lot of emotion on the sidelines, especially come playoff games, Skip, because we know there ain't no more Sundays. You lose this game, it's going home. You clean out your locker on Monday. You got the hefty bag. Hey, man, what's your plans? Plans going to be a little different because of COVID, Skip, so you ain't really discussing plans. All right, man, I'll holler at you, talk to you sometime. So there's a lot of an emotion on the sideline. I was always cautious because for me, I ain't want nobody shoving me, and I wasn't shoving anybody. That's how I operate. And I don't think I didn't see people shove. And I heard coaches say, I'll whip yo, you know. I'm like, hold on. Man, you're 55, 60 years old talking about you going to whip some 25, 26-year-old. Yep. But, Skip, that's just the emotion of the game, and it brings out that competitive spirit in you. So I don't know the relationship between Tyreek and Greg Lewis. I know Greg Lewis a little bit. He caught a touchdown in the Super Bowl, Skip, and I think he was the one that caught he caught a Hail Mary from Brett Favre when he was in Minnesota.
He did.
And so, but I don't really know a whole lot about him. But I can
Remember,
see
he caught the late touchdown pass from Donovan
in the Super Bowl
that actually made it a game.
Right.
Yeah.
But I can see Tyreek says he views him like an uncle because the age is not. It's not like one of these
26 to 40.
Right.
Tyreek's only 26.
Right.
When I looked that up, I thought he was 28 at least. He's only 26 years old.
Only 26 years of age. Yeah, you got your work cut out for you. My homeboy, 25. But anyway, so Skip, you know what? Without context, without knowing, I can see if it was, he shoved him after the drive stalled, and they ended up having to kick a field goal. So Skip,
he had just run a deeper route, like a corner route, and it looked like he had a step.
Right.
But Henne was in the game at that point.
Henne ain't throwing the lesson wide open.
No. No.
So Skip, I'm going to have to take him at his word. It's hard, but like I said, in a situation like that, and I didn't see, you know, we don't see our camera. Did he say something to Tyreek coming out the field? Did Tyreek say, I really don't know. So I'm going to take Tyreek at his word that they have that type of relationship. He's trying to get everybody fired up. But hell, how you get the coach fired up? He can't play.
I am not buying that they were laughing, they were giggling, and they were enjoying each other. They were not doing that.
Not in that moment.
No. I will give Tyreek this much. Greg Lewis didn't even turn to face him.
He
just
basically didn't even acknowledge it.
It's like it had happened many times or sometimes before, where it's just like, just ignore it.
Yeah.
Just let it be.
Yes.
Okay, so Tyreek says, a lot of people have seen me as being a hothead. Yeah, he can be.
Yeah.
I don't know about diva, but he's a hothead.
Right.
So I'm not going to belabor this, but just for the record, he has had anger management issues because when he was at Oklahoma State, he was arrested for domestic violence. And because of that arrest, he was removed from the program.
Right.
And because of that arrest, he was not invited to the NFL Combine.
Correct.
And then 2 years ago, there was another investigation of potential domestic violence involving, it was child abuse of his 3-year-old son because the kid wound up with a broken arm, and then the investigation went on, and he was finally cleared of it. But for a while, the Chiefs suspended him.
Right.
It was their doing, not the NFL.
Right.
The NFL did not suspend him.
Correct.
But anger management issues. So is it possible he just lost it for a moment and he just can't control his emotion and anger, and he just acts out with a quick shove of the coach? And it was weird that CBS just caught it as they were going to break, to commercial break. It's like, did I just see what I think I just saw?
And that's what happens, Skip, is that there's so many more cameras now as opposed to when you actually covered when you was around the game all the time for the Cowboys, and when I actually played. There isn't really anything that you can do on the field or on the sideline, Skip, in which a camera's not going to catch it now. It's just too many of them, and people want, and fans want the access. And now with COVID and there are no fans, Skip, they're going to give you even more access. So you doing things like that, it's not gonna go unnoticed. And you know, like I said, I've seen guys walking up the field and the coach says something and he's like, what'd you say? I said, do you know what job? All right, I'm going to do my you know what job. Emotions are high. Come playoff time, Skip, it's a different level. I mean, the preseason, there's a level. Regular season, there's a level. And as you go into playoff, Skip, man, people on eggs. People on eggshells. The nerves are frazzled. Coaches, I mean, coaches that wouldn't normally say anything.
So this organization, starting with Andy Reid, all the way up to Clark Hunt.
Right.
They took a shot with this young man.
Yes.
And it was high risk, but high reward.
They did the same thing with Kareem Hunt.
They did. And they've had some history of doing this. And I'm sure a lot of their fans were not happy with them when they even gave Tyreek a shot.
Well, Skip, the thing that scared Kansas City, you remember they had the incident where the player not only took his girlfriend's life, he took his own life. So they're going to, at the first crack of this, we're going to move the situation. You see with Tyreek, I mean, not with Tyreek, but with Kareem Hunt, they was like, okay, Kareem said this. Once that video came out, bye.
Out. Have to. Yeah.
When the thing with Tyreek, the first thing they did, okay, bro, you got to go sit this down. We're going to have to sort this out. And if it doesn't come back in your favor, you're gone. So Kansas City is in a different stage than everybody can, Skip. When somebody goes to the length that the linebacker did, Skip, you on high alert when it comes to those situations. But I mean, it's just a bad look, Skip, because normally when we see receivers shove someone, people think diva. People think, oh, he can't control it.
Yeah.
But
and
I think
there's probably a lot of truth in what you just said.
You know what I think happened, Skip? I think this has happened, and Greg Lewis, instead of giving it oxygen, he just looked the other way. Because if I come back at you, it's going to be, we're going to continue this thing to go. So I ain't going to give you oxygen. You should use that. Hey, what you want? Because he looked, but ain't nobody there to look. It wasn't another coach. It wasn't Andy there. He just looks over his shoulder like.
Yeah, right. So I feel safe in saying that any other receiver, even Devontae in Green Bay or DeAndre in Arizona, if they had shoved their receivers coach, that receivers coach is going to turn and face and respond, right?
Yes.
But it felt like Greg Lewis had been through this before enough. That's just Tyreek being Tyreek. And if I don't give it any fuel, he'll stop. Okay, so just ignore it.
Because, Skip, normally when somebody, even if somebody bumps into you, you're like, bruh, what's up? Skip, I was just...
But with Tyreek, if you turn and face and scold or respond...
And he's already... Because he shoved you for a reason. So he's already on the edge, Skip.
It might just go up in smoke right there.
Skip, I walked in there, I was going to CVS. And so I'm looking where I'm going, and the guy wasn't paying attention. He's on his phone. Skip, he bumps into me. You know what he tells me? Watch where I'm going.
Well, I'm going to guess he was about half your size.
Half my size.
Okay.
I say, God, give me strength. Because my sister said, Shannon, you need to just take it down. All right, you're right, my man. I'll watch where you're going.
Good for you.
Give me took everything. Give me took everything.
Turn that other cheek.
If I don't get up early in the morning to read my daily scripture, and I had took my 5 milligrams, or don't mess with me, I took 10 milligrams that day. Because if I had to...
I don't know how to rap out of that. I just don't know. All right.
Good job for you, Greg Lewis.
Thank you. I appreciate knowing that. I appreciate it. Guys, is Aaron Rodgers trying a bit too hard during his press conference? You will hear exactly what he had to say and how he said it to the reporters when we